4 years ago, when drug cartel violence began to escalate in Juarez and other parts of Mexico, NMSU professor David Taylor set out to take pictures of all 276 land monuments like these that mark the border between the U.S. and Mexico. However, Taylor's book, Working the Line, goes far beyond land monuments. Armed with his camera, from the Rio Grande to the Pacific Ocean, David Taylor documented the rapidly changing 690 miles of U.S.-Mexico borderland.
The fraught nature of the way that the border gets presented is sometimes distracting from really intense human drama that actually is happening out here on a day-to-day basis.
Taylor originally set out to photograph all the cast iron white monuments along the border.
And they were put in the early 1890s by the International Boundary Commission. And the idea was that they would be visible by line of sight. So when you were standing at one, you'd be able to see the next successive monument. And so you'd always know where the boundary was.
He soon found much more to shoot than the next successive monument.
That inevitably led to photographs of all sorts of other things. Because once you're out here for that amount of time, to that degree, then you encounter smugglers, border patrol, migrants, people who live along the border, federales, Mexican army. That becomes literally the backdrop for getting to all of the monuments.
Some of his encounters were tense.
I've felt nervous a couple of times. I encountered the Mexican army on the Tohono O'odham reservation, and they thought that I was a gun runner.
Others, more playful.
You'll see a head pop up of a cattle tank, and it'll be a little game of hide and seek, and finally, like, everybody knows that everybody recognizes that you're there, and that I see you and you see me, and there's a wave.
Through it all, Taylor noticed numerous transformations, like increased border patrol, new roads, technology, and 18-foot fences in Arizona and California.
I mean, it's an imposing structure, and it's a structure that frankly it's politically charged, because there are as many people that think it should get torn out as there are people that want to see more of it built along the border.
For Taylor, the complexities of what's really going on at the border aren't fully captured politically.
The two portrayals of the border are, one, it's this totally lawless, out-of-control place that's a territory for an invading brown army to come across the border. And that's just, it's ridiculous. The other portrayal is one of a space that you can't come out into without being harassed and dogged, and that it's evidence of an increasingly aggressive police state. You can find every stereotype that you imagine along the border, and then there's an enormous amount that doesn't conform to those stereotypes.
It's what doesn't conform that intrigues him.
There's all of this gray area that doesn't fit the fever-pitch debate about the border. There's ultimately an entire narrative of law enforcement, border security, human tragedy, human migration that's playing out here. And it's the aggregate of all of those things that I think is so fascinating, while at the same time you're in this beautiful landscape, and you're also at this place that conceptually is really intriguing, in that it's the beginning of one thing and the end of another.
For KRWG, I'm Jared Andersen.